Well, I'm Jean Anderson. My husband and I started Sundance Sheepskin and Leather Company back in '71, I believe it was. We just sort of grown it into a really wonderful family business since then.
Barry Wayne Anderson. I enjoy making things. I enjoy making things for people.
Well, I grew up in a family business where everybody worked. Just growing up was sort of in my blood, and then I went to business school at University of Kansas. I think I learned a lot there about larger businesses, more corporate America, that I knew I didn't want. I actually dropped out halfway through my senior year and said, I'm ready to go be in business.
As a youngster, I'd come to Colorado on vacation, and I still remember being at altitude and in nature and, out of the city and realizing, wow, what a cool thing that is.
So we were looking for somewhere rural, and this was advertised in the newspaper, and we came up here to look at it, and it was so cheap at the time that we decided we couldn't afford to not buy this property.
Our land payments were $82 a month. We moved here because it seemed right. We had no idea how we would live.
We ended up coming to Colorado, and a friend of ours had a truckload of sheepskins that he didn't know what to do with. And so we said, well, we could figure out something to do with that. So we get bales of hides. Talk about dicey deliveries. Those semi-trucks coming up here is just pretty exciting.
We built our house up on the hill here, and we built the shop into our house.
We made a lot of things and tore them apart, learning about patterns. Almost all of our processes start with our cutting machine. This is the final patterns. These are in steel. We made hats. We were cold, so we made mittens, we made jackets, and just everything that we needed living up here, because we kind of homesteaded up here. So we just started very humbly, just sort of figured it out as we went along.
Mindful of how easy it was for us to live on nothing, basically.
We were very frugal, and we always say we kind of suffered our own personal depression, so we learned how to use everything to its best advantage.
We had old cars, we made them work.
We had started with one sewing machine, and now we probably have, 10.
We had old machines, we made them work.
And duct tape is just sort of a way of life,
we used to do $7,000 gross in a year, and we could live. We just didn't have expensive taste.
We have like 3 different kinds of boots, and we have about 4 or 5 styles of sheepskin moccasins. Lots of leather hat styles, lots of sheepskin hat styles.
This has been one of our most popular hats, and when the first one came off the machines, we all died laughing. We said, no one will ever buy this.
And they love it.
They love it.
We have a lot of novelty things because we're constantly producing scrap, and it's expensive material, and we're very thrifty, and we can't stand to throw it away. So we're constantly trying to come up with little things that will sell. Here, can I have your Sprite can for just a second? This is a koozie that will keep your soda nice and cold for a really long time.
One of the hardest things to realize was that you can't just make what you like. You need to make what sells. And that ends up being what somebody else likes.
We realized that we could do really well if we specialized a little more. So we started making what we call now our Colorado moccasin, which is a sheepskin moccasin with a leather sole. We made our own patterns and got really good at producing so that we could become efficient at it and make a good living.
Our bread and butter is that Colorado moccasin. We added color and design.
So we had a snowball effect. We hit on a product. We would say, okay, well now we need a hat or a pair of boots or something to add to our line. So our line grew from that basic moccasin.
I worked for Rocky Mountain Musculoskeletal Research Labs. I found out pretty quick that corporate America wasn't for me, and that this kind of business was.
Our children came back into the business, so we're thinking, well, how are we going to keep this going? So we built a retail store and that's been going just great.
There's nothing like one-on-one with a customer.
We still do arts and crafts shows.
So through customer input, we've changed in a lot of ways.
So we do about a third of our business through the internet. We sell all over the United States on our website. I guess we have those 3 avenues of sales now, the internet, the retail, and the arts and crafts shows.
Back in the mountains where I want to be, my quality of life is at least quadrupled.
It's a good life.